it's Vanessa filming for Carolyn's Musings on Etsy and YouTube and One Way Journals on Facebook. Thanks so much for joining us today and tuning in. What we've got for you today is the Esther Journal. So in the Women of the Bible series, this one is the latest one that Carolyn has released, and it is gorgeous. She has made this in rich burgundy, and I've sort of added a bit of eggplant and a bit of blue in there as well. Definitely her inspiration was royalty for Esther, the book of Esther, and it is a bumper kit. There is a main kit, and there is also an add-on kit, and there is also a super duper absolutely fabulous freebie that she's also given for the Facebook group. So head over to Facebook if you haven't already, and search Esther, and it should come up with the freebie that's available for you to download. So I'll just give you a quick look. I've made this one a lot bigger than the other ones in the series, as this is a book on its own, Esther in the Bible, and there's 10 chapters there, and so I really am looking forward to doing the devotional and a Bible study using this journal. So whoops, just need to put that down there. So a quick flip through. Isn't this beautiful? So yeah, there's lots and lots of fabulous rich colors and things in here. So I'm looking forward to showing you what I've done with this journal, with lots of new ideas in here as well. So that should be lots of fun. Let's click over to what's in the kit. So this one is beautiful, with a picture of an image for Esther, and so will I go, if I perish, I perish, for such a time as this. And I have printed this scripture sheet on the back. Oh, I love this backing paper. It's stunning, gorgeous. Sorry, let me pick that one up. Gorgeous. And I've done a second one of these. Now there is an add-on kit, and so you'll have a look later that I have printed more of these pages, because there's 10 chapters in Esther, in the book of Esther. So I've printed it 5 times so that I've got a double page, so there'll be 1 chapter per page that I can do sort of a observation or summary of each chapter. And then we've got this notes page, and I've got the memory verse log on the back, and I've also, you'll see that I've printed a lot more of these as well with the papers from the add-on kit. And then this is the collage sheet, and I haven't printed anything on the back yet, only because I'm not sure how I'm going to use this one yet. And then we have this beautiful page with a butterfly. So this could be great as a center page for one of your signatures. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do something a little bit different with that one. And I've added that page on the back. And then let's go through. Don't worry about this ink. Something happened with my printer, but luckily it's on the side. And then that one. And then this one. I love this backing as well. The colors are just so rich in this. It does, I just wanted to mention, the colors look amazing on screen. They're a little bit dulled down on this paper, and I do believe that if you buy matte photo paper, it will come out a lot brighter, that like what you see on your screen. It's just very costly here in Australia, so that's okay. It's just a little bit more muted when it comes out on my printer. And I've got an EcoTank 2850. And then this one. So these are all printed on 120 GSM, which is heavier than your photocopier paper. You just want to have something that when you print on both sides, it's sturdy enough and that it won't bleed through, or you won't, you know, because if you have a lot of ink and it's too thin, then the paper might buckle a little bit when you're printing on both. And that one, which is gorgeous, the floral design. So we're getting into a few more of the floral pages here, and that's gorgeous backing as well. And then this one, normally when there's a sheet like this where there's sort of more of a center point, I tend to go with this on the background. So if it doesn't match up perfectly, it doesn't matter. So it's better to have one side that is split where you can definitely see the middle, and then put something like this on the back. And then I've got that on the back of that one, and then this, and then that one, and this one with that. Isn't that gorgeous as well? Oh gosh, all the papers are stunning. Let's have a look at the ephemera. Incredible. I love this. So journal cards there, and I've printed, this is your backing paper. And then here we go. So 2 side pockets and then some tags to go inside there. And I've done the backing on the back of that. So here we've got some great wide tags and bits and pieces here. And that's the backing on the back. Fabulous here. So we've got a tag. That one has got a top bit, so you could pull it outside of a pocket. These are dangles here. So I've not seen Carolyn do these before, I don't think. So I'll have a little fiddle with that and then show you an instruction on how to do that. And then here we've got, yep, some more tags, and then you could use these as labels. And then these are smaller tags. And that on the back. And then here we go. So this is, Carolyn is fantastic. She's, that page that had the butterfly, she's given it to us again so that we can print it out and cut it out and then layer that butterfly on. Now, I haven't seen this one done before, so I have a bit of a play on how that will turn out. And this backing paper is, there's a freebie, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that Carolyn has given to the Facebook group. This is the backing paper off that freebie. And Carolyn will be putting it up on Etsy if you're not part of the Facebook group. That's the freebie, I mean. And so fantastic, we've got some envelopes there and some more labels there. And then we've got pockets and some more parts of the dangle with these words, which has been in all of the Women of the Bible series. Love those. Pockets, so I didn't back it. And then we've got some more pockets, so I haven't backed that either. All right, let's move over to the add-on kit. Oh gosh, the backing papers. So here we go. There's this one, and I've added the memory verse log. As I said, I've printed quite a few of those. So this one, they're just so regal. Everything is just perfectly for Esther. So there we go, memory verse log. This one. This one. So you'll tell this is going to be a way bigger journal than the other ones I've done in the series because it's a book on its own. There's going to be lots of memory verses and things in there. And then this one, so fabulous. So bits of bluish grey in there. And then this is one of those scripture pages that I said, so that I can do one memory verse one and then this one. Okay, let's have a look at the ephemera in the add-on kit. So we've got a windowed pocket here with a tag to go inside, and then a scripture card. And I've used that, so that's the freebie backing that I've put on there. And then so we've got some more tags, label there. Oops. Then we've got some smaller tags here, slotted tag flip ephemera. So apologies, let me bring this one back. That's where we're going to cut these slots out here on this, and I would say this would goes on the reverse of the flap. I'm pretty sure that's what that would be. And then these are the tags to go in there, and then we have some fussy cuts and more butterflies. So I just wanted to mention, I do a collection of butterflies from, just because I love, if you love them as much as I do, I grab extra ones and print them and then put them in my collection. So if I ever want to add butterflies to a journal, I have a whole heap. So I'll come back and show you how I store those. And so of course I've grabbed these ones already, that on the back. And then here we go. So we have some sort of, oh, I like this wavy part on here for this pocket. And that can fit in there. And that's on the back. And then we have some more great long tags with some fussy cuts. That's on the back. Some more tags here. Oh, and little doilies. How gorgeous are those? I also have a file on my computer that I put all doilies into. So I have one for butterflies, one for doilies. And then we have two more of these, which we saw one of those in the kit, the other kit. And then here we go. Here are the bigger size of the doilies. Fantastic. And I've popped that on the back. And then last but not least, we have these fabulous fussy cuts. Oh gosh, look at all the rich colors in that. Oh, I love this as well. Fantastic fussy cut. Didn't print on the back. Now the freebie. So this is for the Facebook group. There is this, which is a base page. And Carolyn has given this as a backing to put on there, so that that's the instruction to do that, and comes with the kit. And then these two pieces are going to be glued onto this piece here. But before we do that, you have to put a flap in underneath on another piece. So let me show you that in a minute, which is this one. So that flap will glue in underneath here before we put this one down, but we'll show you that. And then this is the matting behind for the pockets. Fabulous. And we're told to put a backing on that one. This one, there is no backing, and obviously this one's no backing because it's going to be glued on the back of that white sheet. And then this is an extra piece that Carolyn has given us. So you'll put this behind here and glue down 3 sides, cut out your oval and put acetate or a clear film behind it. And there's your tab, which is going to flip onto the base card. And then this is the tag that will go into that pocket. And then we have these great fussy cuts and more fabulous butterflies there. Fussy cut butterflies. And then finally we've got more tags. So yes, that one is printed on the back. And apologies, I should have said we have printed on the back of that one. And I have printed on the back of that one and that one, because this is a flip and you're going to want to write on the back of that one. And here are the cover options, which are in the main kit. And so you've got a beautiful front cover here, and then this one that can be on the back. So these options here are 6 inches by 9 inches. So I could definitely make another journal for this for a friend, but I'll probably reduce mine a little bit just because I'd like mine to be the same size as the journals that I have already made in the Women of the Bible series. But isn't this stunning? Absolutely love, 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 love. Would probably be one of my favorite covers. So there you go. Apologies, I missed another sheet. My desk is actually a bit of a mess. I've got things everywhere, and then as I was picking up the ephemera and cutting things out, I noticed this was off to the side. So I'm so sorry. This is a fantastic page with pockets on it, and so this looks like this is a flip where the pocket will go on the reverse, so you will want to print a backing paper on the back of this one. So sorry I missed that, but fantastic, more pockets and a flip. Let's look at Carolyn's fabulous freebie, and we'll do that first. So this one was, she has advised us to print this on the back of this one. Now, when I print my PDFs, I actually go through Photoshop and I print and resize from there. Because I'm in Australia, I use A4 cardstock, so I do have to resize. So I found that when I went to put these bits on, this isn't Carolyn's design, it's actually me and my resizing. I was a little bit off with the white, so it's not a problem. I can use this for anything else I can make tags out of, etc. for the journal. But what I chose to do then to fix that was to print it again, and I chose this backing paper that she's given us for free as well. So I've done that, folded it in half so I've got the center score line, and so these 2 pieces are going to go on here. Now, before we do that, I'm going to put on the flap. Now, Carolyn has done a fantastic tutorial for the Facebook community. So if you've seen that over there, you can skip this little bit, fast forward. So I'm just doing this again for those that aren't on Facebook. They might have bought this extension little fantastic flip on Etsy. And so I'm just giving you an opportunity so you can see what we're doing with this. So now, before we put these pieces on, I have gone ahead and this is your backing for your pocket here. So you need to use a cutting knife. You might want to, so I've used my cutting knife to go around and cut those out, or you might prefer a little small pair of scissors. So I've done that on both of those. Please excuse my desk, it is very messy. And I've also used the cutting knife to cut around the edge of that one. And then on the back, I've glued down a clear acetate. So use whatever you prefer. You might want to use something from junk mail or some vellum, and just make sure that you glue around the edges here, because you don't want anything to catch on this piece of acetate. So instead of gluing around the oval, you actually glue around the edges of that. So I've done that. I've also scored the edge, and I've scored the edges of these flaps as well. So I do have sorry, just one sec. So you might want to score with one of these and a bone folder. So I do have one of those. It's just a small one. It's not the large size, but I've got this size and this. I do use it sometimes, but if you've got a stylus tool, this is what I tend to prefer. It's got different sizes on either end, and it's called a stylus tool. And I just use my ruler, and then I just run it down the edge and score it and then fold. Okay, so that's just a bit of a tip if you're new to junk journaling. And then I haven't glued down the second one because I just wanted to show you. So once you've cut out those bits and folded and inked everything, you just need to glue down these two sides. So I'll do that now. I'm just using art glitter glue. And then we just need to line that up there, top and bottom. Make sure it doesn't interfere with your flap, to make sure your flap can still fold in underneath like that, and then just press down the sides. Now Carolyn has given us an instruction. If you wanted to, you could glue down this top bit as well. Otherwise that can be another tuck spot for you. Okay, so there, those two sides put together, and move that. What we need to do is this flap first, this little bit. So before we attach it to the card base, we want to add this to here. So let me double check, which way am I going? It's going to go that way. Okay, so we're going to glue down this bit, but before we do that I need to do this. Now you can have it that way facing, but if you do it this way, when you do the flap, you've actually got extra writing space if you do it that way. And I think I might turn it that way. Okay, so what I need to do is then glue down three sides. So just not the top. Oops. So on the right hand side of the flap line, the scored line, okay, there we go. And then I'm doing it that way. Just line those up. So you just want to make sure your edges, your right edges here, and that you can still fold this flat. Okay, there we go. And I have already pre-inked everything, and that's just created us a pocket flap. And then this is going to go onto here, so we're going to glue that down first. So I will glue on this side. Oops. And just measure that up. Make sure that's as straight as you can get it. Yep, that's perfect. And just press that down. There we go. So that's created a fabulous flap there. Oh, I was a little bit off. Whoops. Let me glue that again. That went down on an angle. Oh, it might puck up. Okay, let's see if we can fix that. Okay. Right, fabulous. So then on here, this side, we're going to glue these down. And I think the way Carolyn had it was that bit of the lace was in the center. And so when you glue this down, I'm going to use art glitter glue, but if you want to have a little bit of wiggle room, if you're not too confident on getting the spacing correct, I'm just having a look to make sure that everything looks okay. And it does. You could use like a tacky glue. Okay. And that will just give you a bit of time to wiggle it around and try and get it as even as you can. So if you're printing this, I did print this on the bag, but otherwise you've got this piece that you can line it up with the white. Okay, so you just want to leave a little bit gap on around this fold here, in the center fold, because you want that to be able to fold without this paper creasing up. Okay, so there's that one, and then we'll put this one down. That's now ready for us to put these slotted pockets on. Oh, rubbish. Sorry, that was supposed to go in under here. My mistake. Whoops. All right, I'm going to stop the camera and peel this off. I'm so sorry you didn't see me film that bit. However, I had to rip it off really, really quickly, and I had to stick my head down really close to make sure I could peel it all off and glue this in underneath. And I'm sure you didn't want my head in the camera, so I apologize for that. But those flaps have been glued in underneath these. Okay, so you need to attach those to these pieces before you put them down. And that the reason why you're printing on the back is so that you can write on both of those pockets there. Okay, so that's fabulous. Sorry about that. Mistake quickly averted. All right, so now this has created a pocket for us here, and this piece is going to go in here. What I wanted to explain was I actually printed this twice, and there's a reason for that. On the second print, I kept the side flap. There wasn't a flap, I just kept a side piece, because what I want to do is decorate this piece in the middle. So I've got to line that up. But when I do that, I actually want to have them stacked on top of each other. So I'll glue down, which one? Now this one doesn't have a little tab, this little tab bit here. So this one's going to be glued on the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is stack these on the top, punch a hole, and then add a little brad and pop that in there, and then that's going to make them all swing. Now with that, that's going to add a bit of weight to the front, so I thought if I double print it and glue that flap onto there, that I might do it that way actually, that way there, that's going to give me a bit of weight, and so it's also given me more writing space as well. So I've inked around the edges, and I'm just going to glue this down. So if you don't want to print that again, you can just use it as a single long journaling card. So let me just get that there. Okay, now that tab can glue onto the back, but then it might go over this bit of writing, so that's why I've just glued it in the middle there. And you can always put some washi or something to hide that. All right, now this piece is the one that I want on the bottom, so the best way to do that is open this up. And then maybe actually this might be easier for you. Before you glue this down, you might want to measure this up. That would be smarter. Measure this up before you, and put this piece on before you glue it down, because you're going to see me struggle. But anyway, we'll work it out. There we go. So that looks pretty good to me. I am actually going to stop the camera and just double check that and get it stuck down, and then I'll show you the next bit. I forgot to turn the camera back on. Anyway, so I glued down the base one, and then I just punched a hole. You can use, if you've got the crocodile, the little small setting to punch a hole, or you can use an awl just to punch a little hole in there, and then I put a brad, and then that means these now swing. So the 4 of them swing that way. Okay, and then I do have the brad there, but that's okay. We can decorate, and we can add a butterfly on top. So what I might do is, it does buckle a little bit, but we've got all this writing space here, and we've got it on the back as well. And I can add some strips of lace or something like that. So I'll probably do that. Now with this piece, what you can do is, so say this is your signature, you can make this as your center of your signature. So centers of signatures with loaded pockets is a fantastic idea. That would look really great. And so the tags that go with this, you know, you could put one if you don't glue that back bit down, and then there we go, you can do that. And then I've got another one there, we've got another big one there, and do that. Okay, and so you can have loaded pockets into the center, and then as we said, you could write there, and then you just sew this into the center of your signature. The alternatively, if you wanted to, on a page, see if I've got one here, so on a page like this, you could actually glue the back down onto the page if your pages are wide enough. Mine is just yeah, you probably need a little bit more room to do that, but it is an option where you could glue the back, and then when you get to this page, you don't have that, that's glued down to the back. And then on this page, you've literally got to flip that way with a pocket, and then you open up, and then you've got these pockets, etc. as well. Alternatively, it doesn't have to be the center. You could actually put it in between your signature. So you could sew it in this way. And so you'll have this, the pocket that way, then you keep going throughout your signature, and then you have the pockets on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to, I haven't inked any of my signatures or put any of them together or cut out any of my ephemera. I just wanted to get the freebie done for you, and I'll come back if there's any other bits that ephemera that I want to show you. I thought I'd just pop in and show you what else I had done with this freebie flip. So with the 2 pages that had white on the back where I reprinted and I didn't use it, what I did was I grabbed that sheet and just with a white marker went around the scalloped edge to create a pocket out of those 2 pieces. So there's always lots of great things you can do with mistakes or reprints and things. And so what I've done is added a pocket here over the top of that, and added a butterfly and one of the words there, and then when you flip it over this way, there's another one with a butterfly and the other word there, which is lovely, soft-spoken and selfless. I love that. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that. And while I'm doing butterflies, I think somebody asked, how do I store things? So I usually have, I love butterflies, so normally they were all stacked up in here, and they were not getting damaged, but it was difficult to find them. And so what I've done is I've just got these little containers, and so sort of vintage colors are there, and then these ones have got like an embroidery thread through, like that sort of design, and then I sort of break them up into blues and purples and sort of yellowy ones. There's some sort of vintage orangey ones, pink ones, and green ones. So I just I'd love to hear in the comments down below how you store all your fussy cuts. All my other ones are sort of in plastic bags, and they're in a fussy cut drawer, and so I can grab them from there. But because I use butterflies all the time, I've sort of separated them into colors to make them a little bit easier to find. So there you go, that's my little storage trick. Let's look at a couple of options for the butterfly page. So this would be perfect as the center of a signature, one of your signatures. And then what you can do is, this is the second butterfly that Carolyn has given us, where it is already, you know, it's on a backing paper. It's an extra one that we can cut out as a fussy cut. So what you can do is glue down the center and then sew in your signature, and then you've got flaps on the side. If you glue down the bottom, you can create tuck spots in there, or you can I'd print it definitely on a cardstock, a thicker piece of cardstock, if you wanted to glue down the center, and then you flip those up as writing spots, because it will weaken a little bit here if you don't use a heavier cardstock. Now, the other option you could do is, you don't have to have it in the center. You could actually have your paper like this, and you could, if you carefully, I've scored down the center of mine and then carefully folded it, you could actually put it over the side of a page. So if you glue down the body of the butterfly there, then you've got, you could glue down here and you've got a tuck spot there, and then you turn over and you've got the rest of the butterfly on that side. Or what you could do is sew in your signature, and it doesn't have to be in the center, it can be somewhere within your signature. And then what you would do is you would cut your butterfly in half, and then you glue down the body here, and so your butterfly here, you've got a butterfly image, glue down the center there, and once again you've got another tuck spot, and then when you flip over to this one, the other side of your butterfly that you cut in half, you would have there, and then you've got the same thing, you've got a tuck spot or extra writing space as well. So you've got two butterflies within your journal, just at different pages on the journal. Okay, I just wanted to give you a couple of options for that. I just wanted to go through this little piece of ephemera because you might not have seen this before. So I have inked around the outside and folded down, just scored down there and there to create folds, and also one down here. Just inked a little bit up the top there where I think it might be seen when we open it up. And I've inked around all the other pieces as well. So it's a fairly easy construction. You've got two options. Oh, so what I've also done is added some acetate there and just glued around the edge, and used a cutting knife just to cut out that little rectangle, so to create a little window. Okay, so what you've got is you've got two options. You've got a flap here and you've got one on the bottom. So you can fold both of them on the inside, and then this can just sit in within a pocket, or you can use the flaps. So if you fold this one back, this could be the flap on the side of a page. If you do this one and put that one in, then that would create a flap to fold down on your page. Now, I think I've already got a couple of side flaps, so I thought I might do something a little bit different and do it as a bottom flap. So that means I'm going to keep this one free and then glue this one down. So let me do that. So just run some glue over all of that, just to make sure that sticks down and doesn't interfere with your insert. Okay, there we go. Just line that up and press that down. And then when I go to put this in the journal, I will glue this bit down and then glue that directly on the page. And then to keep it still, you could put a little Velcro dot on the back here, or you could create some sort of other closure if you wanted to do that as well. You could always glue some ribbon underneath it or some lace. I'm not really sure yet. But anyway, this is just a basic construction. And then on the back, you've got a great little pocket here. So we're going to glue that down three sides. Just like that. Okay, that goes there. And I've just glued it a little bit, because there's a little gap on the sides, I've left a little gap on the bottom as well. And then the bit that I didn't do was ink this. So this will just need to be inked. I have got a colour which I've been using, a mixture between, you know, a sepia colour and this claret colour. It's a stays on one, which means you can actually stamp this on wood and things like that, but it's the only burgundy that I had, so that's what I'm using there. Okay, so that's created the pocket, and then you have, I've already inked this, and you've got this great little scripture card that can go in there. And then you might want to put your little fussy cut, you might want to put Esther 414 there. Here is your insert that goes in here, and so make sure I've got that. Is there a certain way? I think it's probably better that way up. So I've already inked and used my tab, cut that out. So the tab can be used to go on the top here. Just center that. Whoops, let's slip down a bit. There we go. Okay, and then that slips. Oops, I haven't glued that down properly. There we go. So we'll glue this. I obviously forgot to do that. Okay, and before I'll just let that glue dry quickly, and then you've got these little words as well. So I might put this one just directly on there like that. But you know, you can put that anywhere, you don't have to put it on the tab, up the top there. And so then this will go in here, and then with your window here you might want to put a butterfly or something like that to have a focus within the window, or you might want to put that and on the tag. So you know, if you don't put a word up here, you might want to put that in there, and then that would come through there on there. Okay, so decorate as you like. You might want to add some lace and things like that. Just wanted to show you that bit. Right, let's look at some more ephemera pieces. We've got this one here. So I've cut it out and cut out the center, and then I chose, you've got two options of which one you would like to choose on this piece, and then that fits on the top, and we can glue that bit at the back. So I'll do that right now. Now I did glue the acetate behind. You'll see a bit of glue that I've left, and I pulled it off, but I just want to show, oops, I need to get that measured up a bit better. There we go. And what I've done is I've just used my inking tool, and I've just sort of inked in the white spot that was on there and there. Now I did glue a section here, but it actually showed up, so there's not much I can do about that because I cut a bigger piece. So now what I've done is just cut a piece that's the same as that. So I'm just gonna quickly glue again. So it's my boo-boo, and I'll put that there. So we have a window, a clear window that's there for that. Now if I was going to do it again, what you could do is your second option here, if you glue this to here, then you would have that on the front, and then if you glue that there, you've actually got a bit of writing spot there, and then you've also got some writing spot on the back as well. So it's up to you how you want to do that. And then if you punch a hole, and you could do it as like a tag that could go into a pocket, or you could punch a hole and put or an eyelet, and you could attach it to the page, and it could be a dangle. Okay, so there's a couple of options, and then there's another cute little one there as well. Now you could put that one and punch them together and get that to swing, or you could do it as a separate one. So that's the options for those. And then there's a couple of these as well, which you can just punch holes on, and then they can swing on your pages as well. So they're cute little dangles. Now this one here, there was 3 of these, and what you can do is just cut them out as is, cut out this white section, put some acetate or something clear behind, and then what it is you could pop these in a pocket, and when you lift that, you've got a cute little fold out for a place to write something. So they're really cute, the 3 of those. And then This one here I've already glued down, so I'll just do this with you. So there were 2 of these, and so obviously I've inked around front and back, scored this line here, which is your fold, which you can glue down on your page. And then this one here, you get your knife or your very small scissors and cut out the slots there. So it's another slot pocket as well. This one I'm going to glue all the way around all the edges of this tag shape. I'll just do that now. There we go. Down there, and then we just want to center that tag as best we can on that shape there. I love these look fantastic. Really cute idea. As a tag holder, and so then we've got 3 tags. So this one I've just cut out the words and put "The Lord has a plan and a purpose for you," so that one can go in there. There we go. And then this one I've just done a fussy cut flower, and then the other words was "Trust God." That can go there. If you lift them up, they'll stack nicely like that, and then that little one there. And so on the both of them, there was a little, sorry, let's get that in really quickly. Okay, great. And then there were 2 little label bits like that, and then these words on them. So I've stuck those on the front. And this one was that tag, and then that little library sort of card. And this one, I just used a fussy cut on the front of that little one as well. Actually, that was the front of it, and I've stuck it on the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. That's that was the backing paper, but you can still write on the back of that one as well. Okay, so they're those, and I think I'll have, I'm going to do a collage, which will be the last bit of ephemera that I show you, and then we'll get on to putting the whole thing together. I just wanted to film one quick last thing before I start putting the whole journal together, and it's the last bit of ephemera. The gorgeous Gina McBee has sent me some fantastic happy mail, and she sent some junk mail envelopes to me. So for some reason in Australia, I seem to get the single envelopes with just the single window in them, but I don't ever get anything with double windows, which is like this envelope here, and then this one with a really large window like that. So fantastic. Thank you so much, Gina. I really appreciate the happy mail. It was very exciting to receive that. So what I've done was I've already gone ahead and made this one, and if you're new to junk journaling and you don't know what to do with these junk mail envelopes, the windows are fantastic to create some interest in your journal. Now I do on my single on my envelopes that just have a single window, they're probably about that size, and I do have a metal die cut that fits in that, and so I use that for those junk mail envelopes. Now, if you don't have a die cutting set, another option with your envelopes is to use a whole bunch of scrap paper, and you can cut down your pieces and line them up around the window, and that's how you can decorate the front of the windows by putting, you know, scrap paper around them like that. Some people use some tracing paper that they can trace the window out onto their paper. But I haven't seen anybody do this. Maybe it's out there on the internet, but I haven't seen anyone do it. So today I thought, oh gosh, why don't I do this and make a template? So if you have a couple of envelopes that are the same size with the same size window, what I did was I just grabbed, this is just a piece of metallic card just because it's a thick cardstock for a template. What I did was I just measured up the inside of the window, like that, so the width and the length, and cut a piece down. And then what I did was I used my hole punch just to punch the corners. Now when you make a template, you're going to draw around your piece of paper. So if I wanted this to decorate here and I wanted that to go on there, you are going to draw around the outside with pencil, which is going to make it a little bit bigger. So my advice is to cut your template a little bit smaller than your window. This one was a little bit tight, or when you draw around, make sure you cut on this side so that you're creating a smaller window to sit over the top. Otherwise, if it's bigger, you're going to see the white of this outside here. Okay, so that's what I've done with this one, and so that little template's going to go back in that envelope there. And so what I did was now this is a little bit tricky, so you might not want to do this for your first go, but I use the collage paper, and I've lined up the words with what I've put on the inside. So that was a little bit tricky, and it might be a bit ambitious if you haven't done it before, but definitely have fun and have a play. So what I've done is this one had a flap. The envelope was here, and this was sort of ripped here, so it was still intact. But what I'm going to do is glue that side down to the journal page and then create a flip. So it has got an opening up the top, but when you flip on this side, you can pull out the journaling card this way. And so what I've done was so you can see it on the front, I recut the butterfly so that the whole butterfly would sit over the top. So that's little embellishments you can put on the top of the window. And with this one, I just created a journaling card. I added some lace and a doily and another butterfly, so that sits on there. So that's a reprint. And then what I did was I glued the bit that I cut out, I used for here, and then I just glued it onto some backing paper, so it actually created some more writing spot within a tag, a journal card. And then on there I've just decorated and I put a pull tab out of it. So there we go, that's how I've done that one. And then you just line the inside of your envelope. So let me show you on this next one. So this one here I've started. Now, if you're worried about your envelope being sturdy enough, the paper that you put on top will make it a little bit sturdier, but because it's opening and closing, what I've done on this one is I've just gone around the edges and I have reinforced it with some washi tape, so you can see it's been done there. Now this envelope was ripped here. That's okay. This is going to be, I'm not going to cover the back of this one. It's going to be stuck down to my journal page. Sometimes if you're not too worried about what the image is, like just say you have a full sheet of this, what you can do is use the full sheet and wrap it around to the back, and that will create some stability with the paper on the front and the back, and then that can create a floating pocket within your journal. But this time I'm going to glue this one down. So that's why I've only reinforced the front, and I don't have to worry about this ripped bit because I've cut a piece down here, and I'm going to use that and glue that on the inside there. So when you pull out the journal card, it's got that. Now that actually looks okay if you wanted to leave it white, depending on what your journals are in the future, but because this is for Esther, I don't really want the white on here. So what I've done is I've cut out a piece that is going to go on the front there. Now the other reason is because I'm not wrapping an image around the envelope, I also didn't want white to show on the edges, so that's another reason why I put some washi tape there. So once again I cut two little templates, and as you can see they're actually smaller than the window. Hopefully you can see that they're smaller, and that just gives me some, hopefully you won't be able to see any white when I cut it out. So what I did was then this piece of paper I put in here, and then I put in these templates like this, and then when I was happy with the position of them, I held onto it, pulled it out, and then drew a line around it. And so I did the same for this one and drew a line around the template. Now there is, I've rubbed out as much as I can the pencil mark that was on that. Just be mindful, this was a bit tricky because it's dark, and so it was a little bit difficult to see, but I managed to be able to do it. You might want to start something with a lighter pattern on it so that you can see the lines that you're drawing. And then I used a knife to cut around, and then it was a bit tricky, so I did get my little scissors and just rounded around the corners. Okay, so hopefully that bit makes sense. And then I'm going to glue this on the top of here, and I actually want it to sit that way. So I will go glue that on, and then my journal card, here we go. So this was the option for the front and the back of the journal. I loved it so much. I reprinted it, just reduced it. And so this is the journal card. So I've stuck that onto some card here, and that is going to sit in here into my envelope there, and then you can have a peekaboo with the window through there when I stick that down. So that, and then I'll put a tab on it so this can be pulled out, and then if you want to, you can decorate with some, you know, some other fussy cuts and things around the window. You can do that. If your journal card behind is plain, just use fussy cuts to decorate around the window and stuff. You don't have to necessarily have a pattern for something that's peeking through the back. And then if I don't really like this here, then the printout of this, which was the 6x9, I just fussy cut that out, and what I can do is just glue that on the front there, and then when I pull out the journal card, it will be there. So I'm going to go off camera and quickly glue that together and then put it in the journal. I don't want this video to get any longer than it already is, but I just also wanted to show you that I have put my journal together. So what I've done is I've got my 2 signatures. So here we go. I absolutely loved this paper, and I initially had it as the cover of my second signature. However, I've decided that I've used that in here, but any paper that you want to use from the kit, if you're more into the grungy style, there's different papers and things like that that you can add in there. So there's my 2 signatures, and I think I might possibly do that as a flap there, and then I might do that one up in the corner as my center. I love this paper as well, so that might be there. And then my second signature here, I'm actually going to do Carolyn's fabulous freebie as a loaded pocket center for that second signature there. Now with the cover here, I have used this option for the front and the back, and I've used some sort of gold, sort of like a muted gold card. It's sort of more of an ancient gold, and then some metallic eggplanty color there, which is very regal, the purplish color as well with that. And if you wanted to see this closure, I've used this for all of the, so this will, I haven't tied this off properly yet, but this will move out here once the signatures are in. If you want to see how I've done this type of closure, if you're new to the channel, if you look at the Ruth and Naomi journal in the Women of the Bible series, that's how I've gone through and demonstrated how I've created that. The other ones had a smaller spine. This one's a lot bigger, so this one has got 3/4 of an inch spine, and I'd already punched through my 5-hole pamphlet stitch for my 2 signatures, and then I put the paper on and then punched using an awl, I came back through again so I know where my holes are for that. And there you go. Okay, I'm going to sew in the signatures and put it all together and then do a final flip through for you. Okay, so I'm all finished and ready to give you a bit of a flip through. So if you do remember, I did have this beautiful old gold cover, and I've had to cover it all up, which is a bit of a shame. However, it was the old gold cardstock. On the reverse was sort of like a cream colour, and so on the join it started to split, and I could see the white where it's obviously 2 pieces of card stuck together. And yep, so that wasn't very good. So what I've had to do is to reinforce the edges by putting some gluing down washi tape, and I've had to sort of like cut it in half and then sort of bend it over. Anyway, so that's something to look out with your cardstock. But what I've done is I've added this beautiful lace embroidery on both the spines. I had to stop. It's actually it's starting to bow, and I still had a couple more pieces to go and some more ideas that I wanted to use, but I had to stop because I've got this closure. It can't be a crocodile mouth, and it's already doing that. So anyway, let's have a look. So here we go. So I have added lace. I wanted to add so much more lace, and I've had to stop that as well because look, you can tell it's, you know, this is just not closing that well, but that's okay. Right, so on the front I've just sort of got that little cross that's there on the front with a bit of lace on here and here. And then so I've added notes for the front of the journal, and then a memory verse log and scripture. So as I mentioned before, I've added 10 tabs, and you could number them if you like for all the chapters as well, but I've added 10 for where I could do a bit brief summary for each chapter. What I did do was, this was half the page. Sorry, that's the printout, half the page, and then I cut another butterfly in half and then add it to this size, and then I actually reduced it so I had another butterfly sitting on top, and it has got some writing space on the back of that wing there, and then it's got a little bit of that 3D there, just for something different. So I've added one of the little envelopes here, and then I've added just this where I've, you know, printed it back and front, cut a strip and made that as a writing spot there. Now to keep that closed is just a tag that I made from scraps, and that was that old gold card. And then just added some, you know, use your, I had to stop, I couldn't use any more lace because it was getting too thick, so you can use offcuts of your printables and stuff to decorate the front and the back of your tags. And then in here it's just got all the words and things that I can decorate later once I do the study. Writing space here. So this is the double pockets that are here, and I've just added a butterfly front and back on that one. And this one, there are so many fabulous fussy cuts in this, so that's just stuck on the front of that one to decorate that one a little bit. Hang on, there we go. And then just added that piece there. Let's turn over. So I've used actually one of the journal cards as a tuck spot, so that's there, and I've just put a fussy cut over the top, and then there's a fussy cut on this. So this was a strip that I have cut down, and you'll see why I've reprinted this and just made that as a little journal card. This one I photocopied a Bible page from Esther, and so this was chapter 2, and so this bit I've highlighted. So this was a frame that Carolyn has given us in the kit, and I cut out the white bit that was in the center, so I cut that out, and then I just went around the edges in gold pen and I just highlighted this. And the king loved Esther more than any of the other young women. He was so delighted with her that he set the royal crown on her head and declared her queen instead of Vashti. To celebrate the occasion, he gave a great banquet. So I've just highlighted that, and I think what I'll do is find like a little crown or something, and I'll probably pop that somewhere here. Just to decorate that there. And then what I've done is this beautiful paper here has that lovely lace. I really love this page. So I added some lace, and I've actually glued it onto some acetate just to give it some firmness. So that's a belly band. This image fussy cut here, I've also put that on some acetate and cut around it just to give that some firmness there. And then just that's tucked in there. Okay, so here I've cut the big doily in half and just glued it down here to create a tuck spot for that card. And then this one is some lace, a beautiful piece of lace that I've put on some acetate and glued that down. And then I've just made, from some of the papers, I've just made a really big giant tag, used some of the offcut to decorate on the back and to put a fussy cut there. This one, I've done a belly band with this gold. Oh, there were so many other bits of papers and things I wanted to put in here, but I just couldn't fit any more in. So I've just created a belly band there. And then I've just made, with some of the offcuts, just made a journaling card on there and stuck that butterfly on the front for a little journal card. And then, oh, this one. So this is the envelope. And so it's got the double window, and then I've added that floral paper that's in behind. That's just because I had the strip down the middle here. So it is sort of hidden away. You know, you can't really see that when the card's in there, but anyway, that's what I've done with the thing, and it's just got like a little dangle on the tab there. This one is the other one, which had the big window. And so I showed you how I created that. And that's got that little spot in there with lace on it. And I've just got a paper clip just because that's quite heavy, and that's why there's quite a few inserts that are quite thick in this journal, and so that's why it just got very big very quickly. My suggestion is I made this, if you're going to use this kit, the digital kit as well as the add-on kit, and you want to do as much as I've been doing in there, I did 3/4 of an inch of a spine. I would make it bigger, so at least 1 inch, or even, you know, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and then you'll have lots more room. Okay, this one. So what I've done was I reprinted this page and I cut out that center bit to create a belly band, and it's just so that it's given some continuity with the 2 pages together, and put a butterfly on there, and then that's just some journaling space in there. So that's done there, and a bit of lace. And then here we go. And then this one is... I'm not sure if I showed you this one, but this is like the freebie in May that Carolyn has given us. And so that's got some lace on the front with a butterfly with that in there. And then when you flip it down, here we go, it's upside down, but there's a little journal card there and it says Esther 4. So I've actually put this in the 4th, and that's Velcro to hold that there. So this is the 4th journaling spot, chapter spot. This one here, this gorgeous paper with the lace again, I added that pocket on there, and then just that journaling card, and then this one, which was the white and cream lace pattern, so I added some lace on the top and a fussy cut there. That goes in there. Okay, so this one is, so how I did this was I laid down the lace and glued that down the center, and then I put the 2 flip pockets that are here, and then inside those are those 2 pieces. The other one is a library card in there, and then on the front it's got these which flip up and then out for some journaling space. So there's that one there, and then that one, whoops, up and then out. That goes in there, and then I just created a journal card to sit in between there. So this was a piece of cream card, and this corner punch, this is like 15 years old. It's from my card making days, and I thought, oh, I should really pull this out. So it's by Fiskars, and it's a slot corner punch. So I can't tell you where I got it because it was 15 years ago, but if you Google that, you might be able to find that on Amazon or somewhere. And so that's just slotted this journal card. I'm not going to pull it out, but if you do, there's on the reverse is this cream card, so you can actually have some secret journaling spot in the back. I've just glued down the bottom here to create a doily pocket, and it's got those 2 little tags in there. Okay, and that will sit in there. And then put this together and just tie the ribbon. I won't tie it, I'll do that later. Okay, so here that little side pocket's in there with that journaling card. And then this one, I've just moved the pocket up to the center of this page here, and that's got 2 of the journaling cards. That's as is. This one's got a fussy cut on the front. Yep. And then, oh, this one's like just a piece of the paper that I put in the corner, folded in half to create a writing spot, but also a little tuck spot for that little tag in there. And then this is the other side of that butterfly page, so I've done exactly the same thing again on there. There we go, scripture, memory verse, more notes, because that's the end of the first signature. What I've done here was this image was here, I've cut it again and then folded it in half, so it's created a little bit. You could write in there if you want, but it's also a tuck spot. Here I've just glued down the same pattern on this strip and created a little belly band, and that doily is there for some writing space. Here is the doily, the other half of it, cut there to create a tuck spot. I did another card here to create a tuck spot. And then this one I think is leftover hummingbirds from the It Is Well kit. So that's what I've used to make a little journaling spot there. Here, this was just an offcut that I've just sort of measured up and put on the side for a little tuck spot, and that one goes there. Now this page, what I've done was, so the 2 pages, it had half of this pattern because that was on that side, and this one was the floral page. I did reprint it, and I cut out the borders so that it would make it all the way across, and I also cut out this bit as well, and then created a little secret pocket in there. And then this one goes, which way does it go? Goes that way. That's in there, and it sort of measures up, so it's not really that obvious. If you wanted to, you could put some fussy cuts. If you wanted to do an idea like this, it's sort of not obvious that it's there, but you could put a fussy cut on it if you wanted. Writing space there. This would look really great. I didn't have any more room, but if you reprinted this, you could make more pockets there as a, like tuck spots, if you cut those out and glued down three ways. Sides, and then just put the devotion up there. This one I just I couldn't fit the envelope in, so I cut off the side bits and used that as a journaling card and created that. So I've done it sort of the reverse, because that was the card to go inside the envelope, but I've cut off the edges and then just created a little tuck spot there. Now this one, what I did was I measured, I had some of this paper, so I've created 2 pockets here, just cut out the notches, and then these longer sort of journaling cards go in those 2 pockets there. And then I've left this a bit of writing spot here. I couldn't fit anything else in. This one I've created as a tuck spot again, and then just created a little journal cards for some offcuts, put a little tab on there. Oh, all the tabs that I've done, I have a tab punch, this one, and so that means that I can make my own sort of like tabs to match the kit. So that was a bit of an offcut on the front, and then that one on the back, little bits of scrap paper on the bottom, and some butterflies there. And then this is the middle of this second signature, which is just amazing. Carolyn, you are amazing. I've always wanted to do a fully loaded pocket in the center of the signature, so that's what we've got. So this bit flips out there, and then what have we got? Oh, then we've got that journal card, which you've seen, that is in there. That's part of this fabulous freebie. Now I've added the 3 tags that go in there on that side, and then I just put a little bit of lace on the front of both of those and put these tiny little ones there, so little doilies that go in there, and 3 tags there, and then these are velcroed down, and then you can write on the reverse of those. So that's on both sides. And then the same thing, fussy cuts here and pocket with a doily there, so that's on the same on that side. And then, oh, this one, oh, I love these images, and so I just sort of popped that one there sort of with that pattern. And then I just literally, if I put an eyelet or anything to do a dangle up here, it was just going to cause me too many issues because it was so big, and this was the last sort of thing I was doing. So I've just sort of backed it and then just created that as a little tuck spot in there. But please, if you have a bigger spine, knock yourself out with ribbons on your tags, more lace if that's what you like, and then some of the dangles with eyelets up in the corner. That's fabulous as well. So this one, oh, so what have I done? I've put a fussy cut here, and then what have I done? That's why. This was one of those strips where I reprinted that page to create the pocket around that side. These were the strips up the top, and so I've just folded that to create some writing space there, and then it tucks in under that fussy cut. And then if you glue 3 sides, that back piece here, you've just got a spot for a tag there. I just remembered to glue sort of the 3 sides, but then I ran a whole lot of glue here so that that wouldn't drop any further. hope that makes sense. And then here, this is the other side of this great page, and added the 2 pockets on there. This one was a tag that I just put that little label there, that one with that on top to create that little spot there, and then that was just a tag with a fussy cut on the front. Okay, this is cute. So you can do like little belly bands in the middle of your pages as well. So there's the lock and key, and so I've just stuck that on top of a spare piece of the offcuts and created a little belly band with that there. And then this is the same as the one before. I've cut it the other side of it, and I've cut it to create that, and then a pocket here, and so it's another writing spot there. Okay, we're coming to the end, and then that was this cute little pocket here. I glued down 3 sides so that I could put that one in there. That was the 3rd one of these that flips up and then out. And that really cute little journaling card that goes in there. And then these are the 2 flips, fabulous. So this one I stuck down with Velcro writing space there, and this is the one that was the slotted pockets that you stick this piece on the front, and then you've got your 3 tags. And this one here, I've just put that one there to keep that one still. That one goes back there. Bit more lace on the edge, and then here, this is another one of those double pockets. Here I've just put that on the front, and I haven't really, these didn't really need any embellishing. I mean, you could, I just couldn't fit any more in the journal, so I've just kept those plain, which this was by fluke that these 2 pages were next to each other, and these tags just sort of perfect with the 2 papers there. So that was a nice little finish on the end. I haven't done a writing board or anything on this one because I can use something else. I literally couldn't fit anything else in. So there we go. And on the back, I just added that as a fussy cut on the back of there. So there we go, it's all finished. I've absolutely loved making this journal, and I thought I'll make it a lot bigger than the others, and it still wasn't quite big enough because you can see it's sort of bending there with the elastic. So take my hint and make it a little bit bigger if you're going to use both the add-on and the main kit. All right, so that was lots of fun. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and God bless you all, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.